What's up, everyone? I'm Ross, and I'm John, and welcome to the 10th episode of the Ninja Warrior podcast. Today we are talking about American Ninja Warrior Season 12, Episode 2, which is the second part of the season's qualifiers. And John, before we get into this, what are your non-spoiler related opinions? Way better than last time, I can tell you that much. I think this episode had a lot better editing. The competitive pool we saw was a lot more rootable for both of us, as we saw our favorites such as Jamie Wan, Ethan Swanson, Jake Murray, Daniel Gill, Jesse LeBlanc, Nick Hansen. There were so many ninja stars in this episode that I think this is the second best out of this year's qualifying round. Oh yeah, definitely. I think episode 4 definitely tops it, because as episode 4 will get there in a couple of episodes, but that episode 4, which is a really good episode, what's the word? Well, episode 4, which is a really good episode, all jokes aside. Yeah, most certainly. But this episode was really good as well. We saw great ones from a lot of good ninjas, and it felt less like a hassle to sit through. Yeah, overall. So let's just get started. And first off, a surprising fact, like AEW Junior, there are no more opening montages. Yep, AEW Junior barely had any opening montages after the first episode. This one, again, seems to be the same kind of format, as there wasn't really much. There was a song, but you could barely hear it of everyone talking about the ninjas we'll see, as they just basically talked about everyone we were going to see, which included JJ Woods. Yeah, I think we just got to take a moment to talk about JJ Woods, because why was he even invited? I really want to know. It's strange, him and Thomas Stillings. We'll get to him next episode, but both of them seem to be invited just because they had stories to tell. Yeah, I feel like that's the reason why they invited some of these people, like Ethan Swanson. So many of these people didn't get much spotlight or didn't come back in Season 11 due to not getting the call or an injury in JJ Wood's case, but yet they all invited to come back here. It really seems like the reason why they came back was because they had a story for them to fill in. Yeah, it really does seem like that. When we get into JJ Wood's story, you'll really see what we mean. Yeah. But, let's talk about today's obstacles. It was mostly just the same from last episode. Only really 2 obstacles changed. Instead of, wait for it, we now have the hinge. We cutting from, I believe, Seattle, Tacoma. Yeah, that's why I remember what being from. Yeah, Seattle. And then in the 5th obstacle spot, we have the Ferris Wheel instead of Slingshot. The Ferris Wheel 20 from Atlanta. Do you think these course changes were good? More or less. I say the hinge. The lunatic ledges it's called. I completely got these are just completely different obstacle. Yeah, but anyway, the lunatic ledges is, I say they're better than wait for it, but not by much. Yeah, I find it funny. We'll get into it, but lunatic ledges took out a large amount of the competitive pool. Yeah, at least 40% of the competitors we saw, mostly the rookies, fell on that second obstacle. And, that's basically about it. Ferris Wheel, it was about as hard as it was last year. Really nothing changed from it. Just like lunatic ledges. And not many people even got there in the first place, but it took out a pretty good chunk of people. Yeah, but also some people were able to get revenge on it for what it took them out back in Atlanta, so that was good. Yeah, I don't think that happens till next episode. But yeah, it's true. A lot of people were able to get revenge on it. That obstacle took them out in Atlanta. Yeah, so yeah, I think we should just get right into this. Yeah, I wouldn't mind with the power tower. I completely forgot about it. But yeah, the power tower was introduced this episode. As we mentioned in the previous episode of the podcast, the power tower was filmed for last episode, but because of Drew's involvement, they edited it out. And the episode felt really slowly paced, and it was hard to sit through because of it. But now the power tower was in, and they're just and for this round, we're bringing in the power tower. It's like you had the power tower, you just didn't want to show it because the criminal did it. Yeah, it's just, yeah. But yeah, the power tower. It is a few little steps and a climb up to the top of it, then a few dropping shelves to the bottom. What do you think about this power tower? As a whole, I like it. I think it's a lot better than the 2 we saw last year. Just all together, it's the best of the 3. it really shows the wasting aspect. And while it is a little annoying that it was a playoffs, the finals were strictly just 8 races of the Power Tower itself. I still enjoyed the fact that at least it was made to be more competitive. Yeah, like the first Power Tower, it was more like a make or break moment. The one we saw in season 11 for the qualifiers, the make or break moment was the transition to one pole to another, and that tripped up a lot of people, and it seemed like most of the races were one-sided aside from the first one we saw. And same with the city finals Power Tower, because it seemed like the person with the more rock climbing or upper body experience seemed to win, or in Chandra Dapui's case, the person with the more efficient way of going through it, because Dan Yeager should have had the advantage of Chandra Dapui. Yeah. Really, but this one I say was all around a pretty good Power Tower, and really, I think it was a lot better than the others, because it was a lot easier not to fall here on this Power Tower. Yeah, it's like, we only saw 2 people fall to the Power Tower, and they weren't even in this episode, they were in other episodes. Yeah, you're right. Honestly, just to put it straight up, the Power Tower in this season was a lot better. Yes, and that's the long and the short of it. Now we can get into the episode with this really stupid story about Cassie Dux, who had a story about adopting cats, and this was really stupid. That's how we open up. It's just a really stupid story. Like, after you watch this episode, you literally said, we got a video chat about this. And the first point you brought up was the beginning story with Cassie Dux was stupid. Those were your exact words when we came on. It was that bad? Yes! That was your first thing. That was the first thing you said to me after saying hello. But yeah, rewatching it still sucks. Absolutely. This didn't need to be here. It needed to be a lot quicker. It took a very long time. It was only a minute long, but that minute felt like it went on. It felt like an eternity that she was just talking about adopting cats. Yeah, yeah. And the funny thing is that she fell on the lunatic ledges, so we really didn't need to spend all that much time on that. No, we did. And I also want to point out, they had one of her cats watch it via the Zoom thing. Yeah, via video chat. That was probably the best thing about that segment. Have the cat really watch. It was like, who cares? It's a cat. Somebody didn't run away from the videotape. I mean, I'm doubting he was actually watching her. Like, how do they even do that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure with Yoli later on, they also had his dogs watching him. But yeah, this was really stupid. And let's start to the next one, who was Barry Goes. Barry Goes was basically just a hockey player who Jacob Murray, quote unquote, recruited onto his squad. He fell on the Ferris Wheel. Yep, basically. He looked kind of strong. I mean, he was struggling all the way through the Ferris Wheel, though. Yeah, and he spends, like, a lot of time on lunatic ledges. I think he took, like, 2 or 3 swings, which you should really only have to take 1 or maybe 2 on the lunatic ledges. Yeah, well, you shouldn't need to have to take that many on it. And you should be able to get off the thing relatively quickly. But, yeah, that's about it about Barry Goers. Nothing really too fancy about him. Nicole Pletsy, who was a part of Taylor Armand's squad. And I was really surprised they invited Taylor Armand back. Yeah, that was pretty shocking. But, yeah, she was a part of Taylor Armand's squad. And she fell on the lunatic ledges. Very classic. Yeah, that's about it. Then we had Zane Paskey, who ended up falling on rib 1. His foot just barely grazed the water at the very end. And, yeah, obviously he couldn't recover because that's a disqualification. Yeah, obviously. Then we have Taylor Armand, who was one of the most impressive women rookies from last season, making up the warp wall to the 8th obstacle in Seattle, Tacoma, I think. Is Seattle, Tacoma, or Oklahoma? Correct me if I'm wrong. But she fell on rib 1, just like her partner, Zach, I think. She ended up just touching the water with her feet at the end of the obstacle, and that was that. Yeah, a little sad. I'm surprised they actually showed her entire one. Yeah, there wasn't really too much to notify, except they very close to smell on the lunatic ledges, but that's about it. But then there was a surprise appearance from J.J. Woods, who was not expected to be seen this season. No, he was not. In his segment on the Black Lives Matter movement, fine. I mean, I don't really want to sound like I'm trying to offend the people who are part of this movement. I mean, I respect it totally. It's just that the segment itself wasn't all that good. Yeah, you could tell they tried to lay the impact on the viewers, but clearly they missed the mark by a lot. Yeah, it was more of just ninjas explaining what they thought of the entire thing, and honestly, it felt a little forced, but I guess it was okay. I think I was just surprised about how many ninjas actually got a few words out. Yeah, we had Sean Hammond, who for some reason was invited this season. But then we had a really surprise appearance from J.J. Woods, who I did not expect to be competing this season. No, but the reason he's competing is most likely the Ninjas for Black Lives movement that they talked about during his segment. Yeah, it was more of a segment for the movement than J.J. Woods himself, and the segment wasn't good. I'm just going to lay it out there. Yeah, we're not trying to offend anyone. We totally support the movement they're trying to convey here. I just think the segment itself and trying to introduce the people to the movement just isn't good. I mean, they do an all-right job of trying to explain the type of things they're trying to explain to the viewers. But overall, the segment was more just a montage and a few people speaking words about it, but really, it was just the same matter of words, just explained differently. Yeah, it's like, it lasted way too long, too. It was over a minute and a half, I think. Yeah, just like the coronavirus story, it's trying way too hard to make you sympathetic for this person, but now it's a whole group of people. And it's a lot better than that because it didn't feel like it dragged, but also it was still not goodly produced. It was pretty clear that they didn't know how to convey this right. Yeah, because like the younger viewers, I mean, did you guys understand this? I mean, generally speaking, the concept of racism is understood worldwide just because of just the impact it's had on our history. But the real message they're trying to convey here really doesn't convey. You can't really explain it. The younger viewers might not understand it the way they're trying to tell, and I think that's the real problem with the Ninjas for Black Lives Matter segment as a whole. Yeah, and I think that is a pretty good explanation of it. And overall, the Ninjas for Black Lives movement, while it isn't talked about again, it is really supported throughout the season, as about, let's say, a quarter of the competitor pool this season will wear like either a tattoo, the t-shirt, or at least something relating to it. And it wasn't even just black people, it was even some white people like Ryan Quetch and Jamie Wan who were wearing the thing. And so it wasn't just the people who were affected by the concept of the movement itself, but, you know, it was more built on the protest aspect of the recent last couple of months at the time of recording. It's like ever since the whole George Floyd situation that we won't get into in May, you know, things have been pretty heavy. And I think that's the only reason why they tried to support on this. Yeah, I mean, I don't even understand how this movement came into fruition. Like, really? I mean, I get that people like Najee and J.J. Woods might be, I guess, affected by the amount of racism that's going around the country at this point, but it just doesn't seem like, it seems forced. Yeah, it feels like maybe the movement was small, but it seemed like they tried to make it a lot bigger, and it feels like maybe the people were forced to wear shorts to support the agreement, even though it probably isn't true. I mean, definitely not true, but I get what you mean, though. It really, all we're trying to say here is that it really doesn't do a good job of conveying the message they're trying to convey. And that's about it. As for JJ Woods' one on itself, it was alright. JJ fell in wing chase. He just missed that first wing and then couldn't get the second one to hook on. And for the second straight season, he failed in qualifying. Yeah, at this point, I really don't think JJ Woods is even trying. Because, he's failed in qualifying 3 of his 5 seasons on the show. He's been on the show for 7 seasons. 7? Yeah, he was started in season 4. Okay. I did not know that. It's literally on Ninja Wiki. Alright. Well, I think that's the first you knowing more than me about a competitor. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's about it for JJ Woods. We spend way too much time on this topic. Well, I'd say it's justified, but yeah, we did not need to spend almost 3 minutes on this. But we're going to move on to the next competitor, who was Ronald Washington. And he was one of the people who fell on the Ferris Wheel in Atlanta, but he was not one of the people to get revenge on it, as he fell at the very end. Yeah, he did get farther than he did in Atlanta from the look of it, but he just fell at the very end. And that's about it. Who was Ashley McConovich, who was the final member of JJ Woods' squad, and this is definitely the best one of the episode. Will, you go that far? Yes, this one was really inspirational. I could really bond with the competitor, and it was just overall a great joy to watch. Honestly, I'm glad you feel that way, and honestly, I agree with you on this. Ashley McConovich, her story was about her Uncle David, how he has Down syndrome, but she is still able to, I guess, bond with him in that way. And he is, according to her most vile cheerleader. Yeah, but, she did really well on the course. She was the first person to conquer the Ferris Wheel and the first person to hit a buzzer. And that's what really cemented this run for me. Not only her story and how sympathetic you could really feel for her, but her run in general. No, the fact that she was able to hit the buzzer and, because the first finisher of the night, and while she might have been the slowest, still, she moved on and her run was really inspirational. Yeah, she was also the only female rookie to hit a buzzer this season. Yeah, you're right. Right, because I don't think we saw her last season. Quite us if we were wrong, but we didn't see her last season. Yeah, and overall, I think she is one of the most inspirational females you've ever seen on American Ninja Warrior. Even just considering this season, I'd say, aside from Flex the Black, she's my favorite female ninja of the season. Really, going that deep. Yeah, it's just, I could really bond with her. I understood how she felt, and I enjoyed watching her run as a whole. Yeah, I totally agreed, but I don't think she deserves as much praise as you give it to her, but she definitely deserves a lot of praise. Jessica Clayton, who was in a fast-forward segment. She was a leader of a squad, and she fell on the wing chaser. Yeah, she just missed that big wing and couldn't connect on the second one. Not really all that interesting to say. Yeah, and the entire team was supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. Yeah, they were. All of them were wearing that t-shirt, everyone. Then there was Deshawn Harris, who fell on the Ferris Wheel. He just couldn't make transition between the 2 wings. And there was also Chandra DaPui, who fell on wing chaser. She just, I think she missed one of the bars, and that ended her run. Yeah, from what I remember. Yeah, it's really what happened. But, that was her squad. And next up was, surprisingly, Abel Gonzales, who was another very shocking appearance here. Yeah, I was not expecting Abel Gonzales to make an appearance this season, because of the fact that last season he was cut in the qualifiers and fast-forwarded in the finals, and didn't even make Vegas during that fast-forward. Yeah, but anyway, Abel Gonzales' story was about how Texas was hit hard by COVID. Texas is full of abused people, according to him, and he is a really good role model to the kids that he teaches at his gym. And that was about it. Yeah, basically. Abel did really well in the course. It actually hit a buzzer. Yeah, Abel hit a buzzer, and was the second athlete to do so tonight. And this led us to our next competitor, who was Gloria Ortega, who fell on the swinging steps. Yeah, I don't get that. Like, it's strange. Gloria Ortega, according to Abel, is one of his top students, but she falls on the very first obstacle. Like, bravo! Yeah. It's hard not to laugh at it, but it's so strange. And the next competitor was Holly Convexus, who had a vignette about her troubled home life. Basically, that caused her to run away, do drugs, even go into into juvie once. Yeah, and the segment itself was pretty good, actually. Yeah, it was short and to the point, and Abel Gonzales was actually is the reason why she's not that same person. Yeah, and that's pretty good. But it definitely conveys how Abel Gonzales can be that inspiring type of person and how he could be a role model. Yeah, and she did really well in the course herself, getting to the Web 1, and that was really impressive to see. Yeah, I enjoyed her one most just because I think the segment was really inspiring. Yeah, throughout the entire segment, you have sympathy for her. And that right there makes her seeing the one itself really worth it. You can really remember her. Yep. Then Swanson, who had a vignette about doing a backflip every day. And this wasn't really all that special, except for this one appearance of Judicial. This was so obvious, too. Like, tell me, on the first viewing of this, you guys at home, on the first viewing of this part in the episode, did you tell that bird figure over there was Gill? Because, that was so easy. He was wearing an orange shirt. He had his headband. How do you not recognize that as Judicial? How do you not? Yeah, even I could have made a segment that took out Judicial. Just pop in another one of the giant group shots that Swanson did, and bam! I might even show one.
Over here doing, so we'll have 50 people, 100 people.
That's how easy it was. Just find a different one. Is it really that hard? Yeah, I get that it was rushed, but they could have easily just taken another clip from one of his backflip days, and bam! Problem solved. You did not need to put that there. You really care about this Judicial thing. At least try a little harder. Just having him just sit there doing a backflip with everyone else, clearly visible. They barely even tried to hide him. I bet you more than half the people, unless they're stupid, actually spotted this. And this was just hilarious to see. Yeah, but either way, Swanson did really well in the course, getting the fastest time of the night at the time, but also the second fastest time of the night overall. Yeah, we saw him on the Powtown, but we get that when we get there. Yeah, it's not till the end of the night. But yeah, Swanson's one was really good. We even had Matt do the swan. Yeah, Swanson did his swan at the end. He also did a backflip, but Matt also did the swan. That was actually pretty funny, him getting in on the action. But yeah, the next one was Kamlin Bongano, who was in a fast forward segment. He completed the course in 1 minute 20, and that was the second fastest time of the night at the time of his run, but it did get beaten by a few other people. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, nothing really too special heading off there. Jack McCultney, who fell on the lunatic ledges. That's about it. That's all we have for you. Bye-bye. Then we had Donovan Mattoya, who I honestly thought was a rookie this season. Yeah, I honestly thought so too. I don't think he was ever seen ever before this season, but he's actually been competing since season 5, and even made Vegas in season 9. Yeah, it's crazy. But Donovan Mattoya, he is now known as the classy ninja, is one of those ninjas this season, going all the way to the finals. And we'll get to his results there when we get there in a couple of episodes. But overall, he hit a buzzer, and really, it wasn't all that special since he was in a fast forward segment. But I just wanted to clear that up. For everyone who thought he was a rookie, he is not. He is actually a 8-time veteran. Then we had Captain NBC Jamie Wan, take his shot, of course. Yeah, and you told me when we went on video chat about this episode, you really enjoyed this one. Yeah, because Jamie Wan is my favorite ninja, aside from Daniel Gill. Aside from Daniel Gill, Jamie Wan is my personal favorite ninja. And the real reason just because, I like his ethic. I like him being Captain NBC. I've liked him ever since he came onto the scene. Like, I know it wasn't instant, but, back in Season 6, he started bringing on the Captain NBC tribute, and he really is one of the best competitors of the sport. He's still really good, and the fact that he has done so well. I mean, he hasn't been to Stage 3 yet, but he truly deserves to go there. And in this one, there's a segment on him practically breaking his thumb with a saw, but it seemed not to affect him as he still had a buzzer. Yeah, excellent one from Jamie Wan as a whole. It kind of sucks that he never got to the power tower. Yeah, but it's pretty clear, Jamie Wan never focuses on speed. It was even though he had the 5th fastest time last year in Baltimore, that was only because many people in Baltimore went for the Mega Wall or failed earlier. And plus, Jamie Wan had one of the slower times, though, anyway, with his time being over 3 minutes. And in the finals, he missed out because he was too slow. Yeah, he wasn't able to get out the same line fast enough. And yeah, but still, Jamie Wan still has it, and if he's able to focus, then I think he can still go far in this one. This one really does show that, as he was able to hit a buzzer. Then there was Adele Cody. Adele Cody fell under lunatic ledges. Yep, that's basically all we have to say about him. Just 5 seconds of screen time, and yep, you're done. Kyle Ward, who had a segment about him competing in the knuckle hop. Yeah, I didn't even know this was even a sport. And by the way, who would want to do this? Yeah, I've done knuckle ups in the past, and they hurt a lot. Who would want to do this as a profession? Yeah, I want to know, who actually does knuckle ups, the knuckle hop as a profession? How? Why would you want to do that? But anyway, this guy fell on the second obstacle of lunatic ledges. It's the second obstacle took out majority competitive pool. Yeah, most rookies fell here. And really, it just sucked. Yeah. Then there was Christy Marie, who had a rough one, all things considered. She had a rough landing on the first jump to lunatic ledges. She just barely missed the wing on Wing Chaser, but finally didn't go down until Web 1. Yeah, honestly, I wasn't surprised they highlighted her line, but yeah, she had a lot of mishaps here and there. And then we had Nick Hansen, who had a story about how a dangerous storm flooded his ninja course in Alaska, but he still decided to train on it anyway while it was being destroyed. And that was about it for a segment, but you want to talk about his run? Yeah, Nick Hansen, he had more stuff left out the course, but he got the Mega Wall, being the first person to do it this season. And overall, the run, what's funny about is, despite him getting the Mega Wall, he didn't move on because his finish was actually really slow. Yet he finished in about 4 minutes, which was not enough to make the top 12 for the men. And he got knocked out because for the first time since AW4, finishes don't guarantee you a spot in the semifinals. Which is stupid, don't get me wrong, but still. Yeah, I still think they should have had that rule. But again, that would have mitigated the top 12. But, I think this was the only episode where people were eliminated even though they finished the course. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, everyone who finished the course got to move on every other episode. Just here, Nick Hansen didn't move on because of his slow time. But anyway, Nick Hansen got the Mega Wall, so at least he got something out of this season. Yeah, at least that was that. David Hutchinson, who had a tricky dismount on the lunatic ledges, but fell on Wing Chaser. That's about it. Then there was Caitlin Bergstrom, who was one of the people who fall on the Ferris Wheel, and she actually fell on twice in both Atlanta qualifying and finals, but she fell on it again here, just couldn't get the dismount. Yeah, and the next one was her brother Caleb Bergstrom, who, I didn't mention this actually, but is according to them the boyfriend of Ashley McConovich? Yeah, apparently. Yeah, apparently. But anyway, Caleb fell on the wing chaser. Yeah, not even that. He fell on the bars leading up to the wing chase. So he didn't even fall because he missed the wing. He just flat out missed the bars. And, he fell there. And this was a pretty shocking fail. Yeah, it was pretty funny to watch, and it was really shocking. I mean, I even put it on my most shocking fails video, which you can check out by, clicking wherever you find it. By finding it. Yeah, I might put on a little thing to show you guys what it is, but I don't know if I'll remember to. But we'll see. But anyway, yeah, Caleb Bergstrom's one Caleb Bergstrom's one was a very surprising one. Yeah, the fact that he failed on the third obstacle, not even on the wing one, just why? It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, next one was Glen Owight, who was part of Jake Murray's squad, and he fell on Web 1. And that's all I have to say about that. And then there was Jake Murray, who had a story about him, Hutchinson, and I believe Kyle Soderman, exploring a cave. And this was actually a pretty fun segment. It felt like it was fake, but it was still a really cool segment to watch. And overall, Jake Murray's one was actually really good. It being the fastest time of the night, he did the course in 54 seconds. Yeah, it's insane. Jake Murray did the course in 54 seconds. According to Ninja Rookie, that's faster than anyone has done a qualifying course since Season 6. And that is crazy. Yeah, the fact that this course was so easy that it, was able to be done by that fast for the first time in 7 years. This is crazy. Yeah, but the next one was Jackson Twight, who, hit a buzzer. Yeah, he, hit a buzzer and just barely missed out on Ethan Swanson's time. So Ethan Swanson still went to the power cell, but Jackson Twight had a really close time that almost beat him. Yeah, really close. But then there was WooYo, who has really became a star through Ninja Warrior, and it really is strange. But yeah, WooYo tried the Mega Wall and barely missed it. Yeah, I think he got, he touched the very top of it, but couldn't climb up. But either way, he did hit a buzzer. That was about it. Yeah, that's it for WooYo. Whitney Holterman and fell on the Wing Chaser. She was part of the Flex squad, and they also fast-forwarded Christy Genji, who was part of her squad. Christy Genji ended up finishing the course, and this was really cool. After this, we saw Flex the Flex one, and she ended up hitting a buzzer as well, making her, quote, have hit the most buzzers by any woman in regular competition. Well, originally I had thought that was wrong. I checked up records, and apparently that was correct. And technically now, Flex the Black has more than anyone because she hit one more buzzer than Jessie Graff this season. Yeah, she hit one on the city finals course at the very end. And it was spoiler territory, but everyone knows that by now. Yeah, I don't know when this is getting uploaded, but it should still be 2020, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, next one was Josh Newton, who is known as Jano Josh because he's Jano at Daniel Gill's Iron Sports Ninja Gym. And he, despite catching the wing, it literally bounced out of his hand. And he ended up falling on wing chase because of that. Yeah, that was pretty funny to watch. But then the next battle was... And then there was Gabriel Hutches, who ended up hitting a buzzer as well. He was the youngest athlete ever competing this season. And mostly enjoying his story, actually. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Daniel Gill, who had something about his opinion about him losing to Drew in second place last season. I honestly thought we would see a cameo for Drew here, but we didn't. They actually did not show him. But yeah, they actually made an effort. But anyway, Gill did really well on the course. He made all the way to the warp wall, where he went for the mega wall again. In the past 2 seasons, he's gone up it, but he did not this season. And that meant that because Ryan Stratus didn't compete this season, no one got at the mega wall 3 times in a row. That really does suck. Yeah. But yeah, Daniel Gill, because of that, he missed out on the fastest time. and did not go on a Powtown, but he still finished with the third fastest, I think. Yeah, it was good to see him, back in action. And then we had the Powtown matchup between Jake Murray and Ethan Swanson. This matchup was a pretty much one-sided matchup. And Jake Murray completely destroyed Swanson. They also had a segment about how they felt about each other as competitors against each other, but that was really about it. Yeah. So Jake Murray won, and we don't actually talk about the prize for the Powtown, but that was to bring your teammates to the next round. And considering that these teammates were mostly picked by production, this reward sucked. Yeah, who would really care about this? I mean, why? Who cares? Who freaking cares? The rewards from, I think the Speed Pass should have made a comeback. Yeah, they should have. We should have sold the Speed Pass be the reward for this matchup. Instead of, bringing your teammates. Yeah. But, that was about it. Jake Murray won the Powtown. But we are not done. Going on the tangent about Ethan Swanson, reason why he was never seen after this because he got COVID. Yeah, Swanson apparently tested positive for COVID while doing the filming of the finals, so he was not able to compete. It was sad for him, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, you can't really prevent COVID from happening to anyone, but yeah, that's about it. So that was about it. So that was American Ninja Warrior Season 12, Episode 2, the second part of the qualifiers. And overall, it was a really good episode. But yeah, it was a lot easier to sit, though, and while this recording took a lot longer than the other one, it was all more fun to record. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. We'll cover Episode 3 of the qualifiers. Me and John will be doing that tomorrow at the time of recording this, but you guys will see it whenever I get that done editing it. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.